You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife cancelled. An article comes from New Idea, so you might want to treat that with the level of healthy skepticism that ought to be afforded to a No Idea article. But it tells us, from the moment the Duke and Duchess of Sussex touched down in California, Prince Harry put his trust in his wife, Harry's wife, to carve out their new path. Pausing there, that is undeniably true. He trusted her. She will have convinced him that it was appropriate for them to have moved over the ocean, first to Canada and then to California. She will have repeatedly espoused the virtues of being in the United States, away from the toxicity which she sees in the royal family, enabling them to merchandise and monetize as they would see fit. She would have excited him. The rebellious aspect of Harry would have been capitalized on by Harry's wife. You can well imagine her saying, "Look, Harry, we can go there, earn our own money. We don't have to rely on them for anything. We can use the titles. We're still the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Americans will love that. But we'll be free to make our own deals. We'll be free to see who we want. We don't have to bow to the protocol. We won't have the paparazzi chasing us around. It'll be on our terms. Imagine how liberating that would be for both of us. For you, getting away from the very things that have caused you so much pain, and of course, in relation to what caused your mother to pass away. Remember how they hounded her to death and how the royal family did nothing to support you? You don't want us to suffer the same fate, do you? And therefore, with a combination of bringing up the past, triangulation, promised gain, flattery, threat and loss, Harry's wife will have repeatedly manipulated the ginger one into believing that the appropriate thing to do would be to leave the United Kingdom and go overseas. Understand this. Harry's wife didn't think, "Blah, what I need to do is remove him from all his support networks and place him in California where he doesn't know anybody, and then he will be completely reliant upon me." She doesn't think in such ways. She is not that type of narcissist. Instead, she will have convinced herself, through her narcissism, that it was the right move to make. Of course, she doesn't actually care what's right for Prince Harry. She only cares about what is right for her vis-a-vis, subconsciously, the prime aims. It will have been dressed up in this manner to him because she honestly believed that it would be advantageous, but it has the effect of making it easier for her to control him, draw fuel from him, etc. Harry, undoubtedly convinced by this as a combination of his own low cognitive function, his emotional thinking, which would blind him to what the pitfalls that would be existing in relation to this proposal, and, of course, the manipulations playing upon his fears and vulnerabilities, would be excited by this prospect. And I really can't see that he would have put up much resistance at all. The article continues by explaining, after all, she is the Hollywood-born and raised actress who was full of ideas about how they could make life work now they were no longer privy to the palace purse strings. He followed her blindly into megabucks entertainment deals and spilled his family's deepest secrets on television and, in his ridiculed memoir, Spare. But now America is turning on the couple, with Rolling Stone magazine branding the pair flops. New Ideas sources confirm Harry, 38, has finally realized that Harry's wife's grand plan wasn't all it's cracked up to be. He truly believed they had a future in America. This was her world, as she put it. So he put all his eggs in her basket, says a source. Pausing there, that is often typical of the intimate partner primary source. So convinced are they that they have met the one, the most wonderful person in their lives, they put all the eggs in one basket. They give up friends, they give up family, they perhaps change career or change where they're undertaking that career. There is so much that is given up for the purposes of enabling that individual to go with everything that the narcissist wants. So convinced are they that they're going to have their happy ever after that they make all of these sacrifices, not really thinking that they are sacrifices. They're losing deals left and right. The article continues, now even Z-grade celebrities are laughing. As the Sussexes weather their public fallout, our sources say they are privately waging a war against each other. The insider insists the pair are blaming each other for their very public downfall. It's all smoke and mirrors, and Harry's finally starting to see the light at long last, the source explains. Interestingly, a second insider who is based in Montecito reveals that tensions between the two are so high that Harry and Harry's wife, 41, were forced to call off their planned July 4th festivities. They had a huge party planned at their home, which they cancelled just 3 days out amid a series of rows over their Hollywood dream falling apart, the insider dishes. As ever, you can make your own mind up about whether that is accurate, but there would be some plausibility because they would be falling out. Remember, she has placed him in the sustained devaluation. She'll be blaming him for their misfortunes. He has strong narcissistic traits and ultimately will row back with her, his traits of argumentativeness and anger coming to the fore. She will keep insulting him, triangulating him, putting him down, belittling him, invalidating him, and he'll argue back. And therefore, it is entirely plausible that they would be having some fairly meaty rows with one another, fiery and tempestuous in nature, which could indeed lead to the cancellation of those planned festivities. Of course, the other factor might be they cancelled it because they haven't really got any friends. They had a huge party planned at their home, which they cancelled just 3 days out. Following the fallout on the weekend prior, Harry's wife was left with no choice but to cancel, added the source. At the last minute, specially erected gazebos were taken down in the backyard, and Harry's wife instructed the planners to call it off, says the source, leaving guests shocked. It has become abundantly clear just how bad things have become, the spy adds. With nothing to lose, those close to Harry maintain he is finally starting to push back on Harry's wife, making big life decisions on their behalf. His compliance is over, and he's sticking up for himself finally, says the source. This is conceivably true. Whether it is depends on whether you accept the evidence of new idea. But certainly this is something that would occur in the dynamic between the narcissist and her victim. Interestingly, you might wonder, would she not be bothered about the loss of face in cancelling the event? But remember, she operates in the moment. So in the moment, if she determines the best way of trying to make Harry feel guilty is to say, we can't go on like this, I'm cancelling the event because of you, she does so to try and manipulate him, to make him feel guilty. And she isn't thinking about how that impacts upon the guests. She's not, of course, operating with any emotional empathy for those guests who might have changed their own plans to ensure that they could attend, might be travelling some distance so that they could attend, etc. And at that moment, the facade is giving way to the necessity of control over Harry. Indeed, she would also, if anybody contested her decision to cancel, would say, well, go and ask him. He's the one that caused it to happen. Naturally, it's not her fault, but it's going to be Harry's fault. The cancellation of their July the 4th bash, predicated on the arguing that they're having. Entirely conceivable in the dynamic between a mid-range narcissist arguing behind the scenes with her intimate partner primary source, husband. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.